Throughout high school, I have been told to get good grades and be a good student. Don't do drugs and go to college. This is what everyone feels is appropriate in order to live a happy life. I say, blasphemy. My high school career has been filled with parties, adventures, new experiences, enjoying the small things in life, and taking advantage of those things. Freshman year started off different than most. I just moved back from Montrose and was forced to go to Collegiate Academy for the first year, because I couldn't register anywhere else. This is where I realized the freedom I had, and that I wasn't going to let anyone stop that, and I would do what I want to do, and no one could change that. So throughout the year, life was great. I made great friends and had great times, until I slipped up and got caught with things that shouldn't be on school property. And this is where I learned you can't go through life acting like you're untouchable, because that's just not the case. So $1,500, 48 hours of classes, and 1 year later, I was off probation and found myself at Chatfield sophomore year. And throughout that year, I raised my GPA, averaging A's and B's because my extracurricular activities became limited due to my incident. I worked for the entire year only to pay off what I owed to the system. And with all this, I grew up as a person. I realized what the real world has in store for you and how to get what you want. Because of that year, I matured and didn't depend on my parents anymore. I knew that I could survive on my own without them, and since then I've had the same mentality. The day I was off probation was the happiest day of my life. I no longer had to worry about them pesky porkers. The monkey had finally jumped off my back and I was free again. Meeting the friends I did sophomore year really shaped me into the person I am today. I still am very good friends with few of them, but a lot have drifted away. These were the first kids that I was able to become friends with at Chatfield, and from them I met more, and so on and so forth. Then we had a group who constantly hung out, went on adventures, hikes, climbs, had parties, and many more. These experiences really made high school what it was. It wasn't the books we were told to read, which I never opened once. It wasn't the test over things that happened 150 years ago, or the projects I was told to do in order to pass. It was climbing red rocks, going to concerts, climbing the Hogback, going tubing down a stream under a highway, putting a couch on the top of a hill where you could see all of Denver, going on afternoon-long longboarding trips, and just going out and doing things. These were the things where I learned the most important things in life, not memorizing definitions of things I will never speak of in the future. It was actually going out and experiencing life, getting away from the conformity of high school, doing what I enjoyed doing instead of sitting in class and being told to do things you don't want to do in order to make it through. It was exploring in nature, pushing your limits and your boundaries. That's where you truly learn about yourself and figure out what your life will involve. My junior year consisted of those friends that stuck around and didn't fade away with all the drama that high school brings. The true homies. The one that would accept you for who you are and really don't care too much about the opinions of others. Even though I wasn't doing great in academics, I was still staying afloat, which is pretty good since I didn't focus on school at all throughout junior year. Rather, I did what I enjoyed doing. I went outside, tried doing things and seeing things that few people are able to see. I hung out with friends and kicked back and had a great old time, never letting things bring me down, always staying happy and positive. Then I went into summer, happy as can be. Had a job set up from the previous year and was doing just fine, planning on getting my car after a few months of work. I finally saved up enough to buy a car, and then I got it, and was ecstatic. But days after I got the car, I was let go from my job, sitting there with a car that needed gas and having no way to pay for it. And for the next 6 months, I constantly was looking for jobs, not being able to find any. These were the worst 6 months of my high school career, because I was forced to live off of my mom. Gas money, insurance, food, everything. I felt terrible, having her do so much for me when I could barely return my gratitude. But I kept looking and stayed positive, and was finally able to find one. But senior year was one of the best. I grew into my own person, figured out my future, which was highly influenced by my recent past, and was just going through the motions to get the chance to say goodbye to high school forever. this have been quotes that are pulled from the Tao. These quotes really sum up how I look at life. When followed, they put meaning behind every action and make you a more genuine person. If anything, I can say that these quotes are things that help me get through these treacherous 4 years. They keep your mind at ease and worry-free. Also, experiencing the things the world has to offer, the views, the sounds, the mountains, any activity away from the rooms we're constantly in. That is where you truly find your inner nature and what you would like to do for the rest of your days.